Welcome back to another Minecraft Conquest Reforged video. I am the Kinder Knight, and once again we are back here in Roostonshire with another progress video. And so I wanted to come on here and add in some much more needed additions to our town, namely the town stocks, because we have yet to have a place to keep offenders, and also the Castle Barracks. And I have a really cool design idea for those that I am excited to show you guys. So as always, I'm gonna give you guys the time lapse of the builds, and afterwards we will meet back for the tour. And so I hope you guys are comfy wherever you are. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the time lapse. Alright guys, now that we've had our time lapse, let's go ahead and check out the build. And I've turned off the shaders just to kind of help with the lagging problem. So let's go ahead and make our way up the road. So here, as you can see, we have the stocks. Pretty basic, just what you would expect. A simple place to hold criminals, troublemakers, and thieves. And they would be apprehended and put here for a day or maybe even a week. And during that time, people could pelt them with waste or rotting fruit or vegetables or maybe stones. So very effective way of keeping people in line. As you might not know, Roostonshire does have an 8 o'clock curfew, whereas anyone out in the streets are required by law to carry a torch. And if they're found without one, they would be fined. And then repeated offenders would be punished by being thrown into the stocks. And so let's go ahead and move along and make our way up towards the barracks. And as you guys can see, we have a pair of guard watchtowers that kind of reaches over our palisade here. That definitely plays a big part of this castle's defenses, and I'll be showing you guys that. And as we make our way up the causeway, I've kind of dubbed this the Death Stretch or the Death March, and it's for obvious reasons, but if you're still wondering why, you will see soon enough. Okay, so at this point we only have one entryway into our barracks, and it's through this tower here. So we're just gonna go ahead and exit out through this door right here. Alright, and now we've come to our castle barracks, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys around, show you guys what I was able to do with the place. And basically, I really tried to give it a busy feeling, try to create that atmosphere, and I think I did pretty good, and hopefully you guys agree. And as always guys, it's still a work in progress, but first I'm going to show you guys this area right here, our little arena area. This is where our castle guards can grab a sword and a shield, and then you hop inside of here and they can spar with each other and just maintain their stamina, maintain their physique, you know, just stay in shape. And as you see, we have some blood stains on the ground because again, they're not trying to kill each other, but they are not holding back necessarily either. So again, they just train here and just always staying conditioned and prepared for battle. And so now, as we make our way over to this tent here, we have a blacksmith station. And so not only does the blacksmith of Roostonshire have a workstation and forge on his property where he lives, he also has one within the barracks. And this would be necessary, especially during times of war or an invasion where the townspeople would have to take refuge within the castle. The blacksmith would need a forge within the protection of the castle, so he could still forge their weapons and arrowheads for the guards and men-at-arms. And so as you can see, I went ahead and added in things that he would need to be able to forge weapons and equipment. As you see, we have some swords that he may have worked on. He has a table with a couple of ingots where he can smelt into steel. We have a bellows here to heat up our forge. We have a basin of water to quench our steel when it's hot, and we have an anvil there. And if we come around here, we have a grindstone, so we can always keep our weapons sharp and in fighting shape. And of course, we have charcoal and some wood to also fuel the forge. And if we come around here, we have some a little area where our blacksmith can have a drink, because working the forge again would get extremely hot, so he would need to quench his thirst. So we're gonna go ahead and move and make our way over to this tent right here, and it's one of our guards' tents where they would sleep. And as you see, it's very modest, very humble dwellings. They're guards, they're really rugged and hardy men, so again, they wouldn't need much. As you see, they have a plate of food, some cups on the ground, and just some simple beds that they can sleep on, and some things hanging inside the tent. But that's pretty much it for that. Again guys, we add a lot of clutter in places, just kind of creating that atmosphere, very important to making that build just really come alive. Again, we have some barrels right there filled with ale. Our guards can drink and have a good time when they're not on guard duty or whatnot. So we're gonna go ahead and make our way back here. And as you see, this is where the bulk of our barrack supplies are. We have some halberds, we have plenty of arrows, we have some swords, some spears, and so just plenty of supplies and weapons and equipment just strewed about, so at a moment's notice, at any point, you can always grab a sword or a spear or some arrows to defend the castle. And as we hop up on our rampart here, we can see how our guards are able to keep watch from behind this palisade and kind of always just surveying what's on the horizon. And as we make our way down here, we come to these training poles where our guards can grab a sword or a spear and then practice and flesh out their technique and just get their form down by practicing on these poles here. Go ahead and head back into the main part of the yard. So we're gonna go past all this stuff, and then as you see, we come here. This is where our guards prepare their meals, their food, and they can sit down on these stumps and just sit around the fire and just chat it up and eat and drink. And as you see, we have a big pig right here roasting on a pike. So again, our guards, they eat well and they drink well. They have everything they need to stay healthy and in fighting shape. So yeah. So let's go ahead and move on. We'll come back to this tent, but first we're gonna go ahead and check out this one. It's pretty much the same as the last. Again, a very modest tent where we have some place to keep some of the guards' personal belongings. Again, beds, simple beds, and that's pretty much it. And then we have some more weapons and supplies. And I'm gonna show you guys what's over here. And so what we have here, we have a little basin of water, and we have an outhouse for our guards to relieve themselves from all that ale and food that they would be consuming. Yeah, so we're gonna make our way over here, and this is where our guards would come to keep their bow arm in shape. So they can go ahead and grab a bow off this table here and grab an arrow from these barrels, and they would have some target practice and just practice their aim and practice their shooting and maybe even have competition with one another. It would be very important for our archers and crossbowmen to be in shape and be able to hit their mark, because they would need to be able to fire down upon people who are trying to invade the castle to be able to protect it and such. So again, over here we have some more supplies and weapons and shields just strewed about. Again, I like to add a lot of clutter to kind of give it that feel that it's really life happening here and it's real busy. So now we're going to go ahead and head in to our captains of the guards tent. And as you see, he has a very nice setup compared to everyone else. He has a table here where he's maybe reading letters or writing a letter to the Lord or maybe other lords. And he has a little chest on his desk where maybe this is where he keeps the payment that he pays off to his guards. He has some shields and some weapons behind him, so he can always be quick to draw a weapon if he need be. And we have some suits of armor, maybe his armor, or maybe they're just for display. And then he has a bed, a nice bed, a chest. And again, he has a sword place where maybe if he's in bed sleeping, he can hop up and grab that real quick if he needs to. And then of course a place for him to drink and get some ale or some mead. So that's pretty much our captains of the guards tent. It's very simple. It's still, again, a work in progress, but I like the way it's coming out so far. So I'm happy with showing you guys the results. So now we're gonna go ahead and check out our guards tower. But actually first, I want to show you guys another part before we get to those. And so remember back to when I've called the causeway the death march or death stretch. This will be the reason why, because of course, if you're an invader trying to take this castle, coming up this causeway would pretty much mean certain death, because you will have archers and crossbowmen and spearmen constantly bombarding you while you try to struggle and try to fight your way to get up this causeway. And so I made sure to fortify it in such a way that our guards here manning the walls could have a clear shot of any invaders or raiders trying to make their way up the causeway from any point here, whereas the raiders or invaders would prove difficult for them to return fire, and so they would be completely bombarded with crossbow and bow and spear missiles. And so again, appropriately calling this the Death March, or again, the Death Stretch. And we got a big barrel of arrows here, so our guards can refill if they need be. So we're gonna go ahead and finish up the tour now. We're gonna go ahead and head to our guards' watchtowers and check those out. And now we're gonna go ahead and make our way over to our first watchtower here. We're gonna go ahead and climb up this ladder. And now these guard towers play a very important role to Roostonshire. And as you see, we have plenty of arrows, we have some halberds, and we have some crossbows, and we have spears. And let me go ahead and show you guys. Also, we have, real quick, we have some bows right here on the table. But if we come out here, this door, we kind of come out to this platform here where our guards can always see what's going on in Roostonshire, anybody trying to attempt to evade or anything like that. And if there is a breach, our guards would run in here and they would ring this bell up here to alert the castle, so everybody would immediately go on guard and get ready for the defense of Roostonshire. So again, we'll have guards stationed here as well with crossbows and bows and maybe even some spears. Again, as you can see, anyone trying to come up that causeway can be pelted with arrows and crossbow bolts. And again, we have some more supplies, crossbows and bows where our guards can just grab real quick and start defending the castle. If needed be, they can hop up here. And again, anyone trying to come up this death march, as I dubbed it, you know, they're going to pretty much meet their demise. And as you notice, this particular watchtower has more views and more vantage points to be able to fire down upon enemies that are trying to evade. And also, basically, not only do these towers give a positional advantage, but also being able to see oncoming threats, and then in turn being able to alert everyone to prepare for an attack would be very imperative for the castle's defenses. And so, also in here, as you see, we have another bell, so our guards can ring again if they were to see anything strange, any enemies approaching. And so I like to think that we have a lot of great and practical defenses for Roostonshire going on. So that's pretty much it, you guys. That's what I wanted to show you guys for today's episode, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope I was able to inspire you guys. And there you have it. Those are the new additions to our town, the stocks. So now we have a place to hold troublemakers and curfew breakers, the barracks for the guards, a place for them to train and stay in shape, eat and sleep, with a bit more defenses added too. I really had a lot of fun with this part of the build. Adding in those details to tell a story helps in really making this place come alive. It really is my favorite part, and I recommend when you guys are doing your own builds, doesn't matter what, but take the time to really add in those details, because it's going to help you and others to really start to feel immersed. And it really is the overall goal for me. If I'm to accomplish anything in any of my builds, I hope it's immersion, and I hope you guys feel it whenever you come and check out my builds. Also, in the next episode, I'm thinking I want to do some work outside the town. I'm planning on adding in some farms and maybe a charcoal burners camp, so I hope you guys are looking forward to that, because I am. Guys, we are really wrapping up this project here. It will probably be a few more episodes and we'll be completely done with Roostonshire. It's kind of bittersweet, but we'll be moving on to the next project, and I'm super excited for that as well. I've already been playing with some ideas. I'm really hoping that you guys are enjoying this series, and if you are, maybe consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to turn on that red notification bell so you don't miss any future Minecraft Conquest Reforged videos. Also, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think of today's build. Thank you all for the support. It means so much to me to be part of such an awesome community. As always, you guys, enjoy what you do and stay inspired. This has been the Kinder Knight from Roostonshire, and I bid you a farewell.